Silverstone was a 2-week ago event which completely blew up the Moto3 Championship. A new winner? Now it's time to get going again. Welcome to round 8 of the Moto3 World Championship at Motorland Aragon. Let's head over to TNT.
His race, what have you seen from him this weekend?
Carpe's been strong all weekend. Obviously, as we're well aware, he's a rookie this year. He come in as the junior world champion and the Red Bull rookie champion. But when you come to somewhere like Aragon, they know this track. So even though you are a rookie, they've raced here. So essentially, what I'm trying to get to is he's not at any disadvantage. So Carpe will fancy his chances. This is an opportunity for him.
Let's find out how confident he's feeling because Nat is with him now.
Alvaro, a winner here last year with the Red Bull rookies. You're right behind your teammate for this one. How different do you expect the Moto3 race to be today?
Will be for sure a difficult race like all the Moto3 races, but I think we can enjoy too much today because we worked so hard this weekend. Will be also difficult because the tires, I don't know if will behave or good, but yeah, my mate for sure will be one of the hardest riders on the grid, and I will try my best.
Have a good race.
Thank you.
Well, Alvaro there mentioning the tyres, Michael, that you were talking about earlier, and that scenario still sounds a little precarious.
Yeah, it really is. The riders seemed so divided, undecided. There were a lot that were going to go for the soft option and try and make it last the distance, and then quite a few others thinking SC2, harder rear, and just push it all the way through. It's a little bit slower normally in the early laps, but it does come together. I spoke to Scott Ogden about it last night, and he said, I'm going to go with the hard tyre. I've done a 47.9 or a few of them on the hard tyre, which is fast, so hopefully that's the right decision for him, and he can come through, stay in that lead group. He was in the lead group throughout the Silverstone race, just needs to make his way a little bit further forward in it.
From 11th today, Scott Ogden, can he make a breakthrough?
Yeah, well, he'll have to try and make some passes. Obviously, we saw him at Silverstone where he had good track position but wasn't able to make any passes. So he's going to have to let the brake off. Otherwise, he'll ride round in 11th, which actually makes it, you know, not ideal.
Let's hear from Scott now.
Scott, 4th row of the grid today. Just tell us how you felt here this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a difficult weekend. It's not my favourite track. I've actually never really done very well here. I've never scored points. So, yeah, we've tried to take steps. I've been 2 seconds faster than I've ever been before. So, yeah, we're in the right way. Hopefully we can take another step today. I know that it's going to be a race of the tyre. Whoever can manage the tyre the best is going to win. I've gone with the harder of the 2 tyres. I know that Rueda did a run on the softer tyre, and it was about 3 seconds slower at the end, but I don't think I can manage it that well. So, yeah, we've gone with the hard one. Hopefully I can finally break into the top 10 and, yeah, just get some more points on the board, a bit more confidence, and just keep taking steps forward.
Fingers crossed. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Well, let's take the positive bit of that, which is that he's 2 seconds quicker than he's ever been around here before.
Yeah, you got to focus on those positives for sure. Sometimes, as Scott did at the start of the interview, he highlights that it's not his favourite track, and he needs to forget about that because he has got good speed here this weekend. I think he could be on the right tyre. If he gets a good start, hangs on to the lead grip. As Neil said, he just needs to get that little bit more aggressive, let the brake off. He's more than capable of beating all these riders and has done in the past.
Here's a man who does like to let the brake off, and Cal Becaris. He's lying second in the championship. We've got to go from 10th today.
Yeah, which you got... Actually, I've been watching Piqueras throughout the weekend. He's not looked that strong, but we've seen him in this position before. And he's basically the polar opposite of Scott, isn't he? Looks like he's got no race pace, looks like he's tense about where he's going to be, but he will be aggressive and he'll make it happen. He'll let the brake off, as we always use that line, let the brake off. What does that mean? It means when you're side-by-side braking with someone and you're about to tip in and the person's going to tip in front of you, if you just let the brake off for a split second, you nudge your front wheel in front of theirs, you've made the pass, you've pushed him wide, you've gone up a place.
Well, we're looking at the man in 15th place there, Vicente Peroni, but let's... oh, no, we're not, actually. Sorry, that's Perez, isn't it? Yeah. Luca Lunetti is on the front row of the grid. We've obviously not going to get any shots of the front row, so let's just talk about them for a second.
Luca's been fantastic. He's obviously, for him, had a bit of a dip and found something at the Le Mans test, and since then he's been exceptional. Strongest Honda rider, leading the way in the middle of the front row of the grid, and he's ultra aggressive. He's tall, he uses his levers to lever people aside, actually, and yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. He's looked so strong and solid all weekend, and yeah, directly behind him though, Furusato, he came, which he doesn't normally do in qualifying, came into contention. So in the second row, 5th for him is a fantastic qualifying, great race pace as well. And yeah, I think he could be exciting in this race, the young Japanese rider.
And a word about your boys.
We've got Eddie's a little bit closer this weekend. Marcos Uriarte back, returning from his hand injury, looking faster. So hopefully they can hang into the group today and have a good solid race.
David Munoz is going from 9th, 3rd row of the grid. There's a few dark horses here a little further back.
Oh, it's proper Moto3. Munoz had that massive crash at the top of the corkscrew. He had like a sort of weird off the throttle high side, and he did a full 360 and landed on his head. Luckily, because he could have broken something, but he landed on the softest part of his body and got away with it. Did you see it though? It was bizarre.
It was horrible to watch.
Yeah, no, but he was absolutely fine.
It's unbelievable sometimes, isn't it, the sport?
It is unbelievable. So, yeah, Munoz will be one to watch out, but the main man I want to talk about is Maximo Quiles. He is just a sensation. He's qualified on the front row of the grid, and I genuinely think he's got a chance of getting his first win.
There you go, he's certainly fired up after Silverstone, isn't he? Let's head over to commentary then. Michael Laverty has scurried off to join Gavin Emmett for this one. Good morning, Gav.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, he's not quite made it back yet, but hopefully be in line as we get going with this first race of our Grand Prix morning here. Moto3, 17 laps of the racetrack. Max Quiles on the front row alongside Luca Lunetta and the championship leader, Jose Antonio Rueda on pole.
It's the Moto3 Grand Prix of Aragon, and we are all set to go. Pole position goes to Jose Antonio Rueda, then it's Luca Lunetta, and Maximo Quiles starts in 3rd position as well. What are we going to see? Row 2, Alvaro Carpe, Taito Furusato, Jacob Rulstone, David Almanza, Joel Kelso, David Munoz as well, starting in 9th position. Then we go down, Angel Becerra, Scott Ogden, Rusi Yamanaka, Cormac Brunachan as well in 13th, Rishi Moody in 14th, Valentin Peroni 15th, Nicola Caro 16th, Teddy Perez in 17th, has to serve a long lap penalty though. 18th for Dennis Foggia, Stefano Nepa 19th, Guido Pini in 20th, Takao Bodarasi 21st, Ricardo Rossi 22nd, Eddie O'Shea 23rd, Noah Deltweller 24th, Marcus Uriarte 25th, and Adrian Fernandez in 26th position as we head off on the formation lap.
There will be a long lap penalty for Vicente Perez. He was deemed to be riding slow, so Perez will have to do a long lap at some stage in this race. A year ago, Jose Antonio Rueda won this race at a canter by nearly 2 seconds, but conditions are different to those we had a year ago, where yes, the track was greasy and track temperatures are now in the high 30s, 37 degrees for the start of this race. But you've got to feel like more people will be able to get in the mix. I have to say, throughout the weekend, David Almanza, although he had a huge crash yesterday, he's going to be someone to watch from the 3rd row. And Michael, I'm pleased to say, I'm not going to have to fly solo. Finally made it back from the grid. It's further than you think, isn't it?
It is a bit further to get back, so I had to get a bit of a sprint on there, Gav. Sorry to keep you waiting. But yeah, I think you're right. I do think David Almanza could be a challenger. I hope it looked a big crash. Hope he's not feeling too many ill effects from that one today, but he's had such good rhythm, good pace, led the way in a lot of sessions. If he can get a good start here, I think he's got something to fight with.
I make it about half the riders on the soft rear, half on the medium. Rueda, Lunetta, Carpe, Furusato, Piqueras, Ralston, Jacob Ralston on the 2nd row. All of those have gone with the softer tyre, and then Quiles, Almanza, Kelso, Munoz, Ogden, Buchanan, Moodley, all with the medium tyre. It sounds like there's a big discrepancy between them.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's really not clear-cut, and some riders just have to go on gut feeling. With our boys, that was Marcos Uriarte last night. He was like, I just feel better with the SC2 tyre, and then know it should last the distance better. And the other side of the garage, Eddie O'Shea, felt better with the soft. So you've got to go with what feels right for you as a rider as well.
And Scott Ogden suggesting there maybe a 3-second drop towards the end of the race. Does that mean either if you're on the soft tyre, you have to go out hard early on, or do you have to manage it?
Yeah.
We're just going to introduce the British Touring Car Championship before we get going here for Moto3. So that's going to be a bit of an interesting one. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the British Touring Car Championship. Let's head downstairs to the pit lane walkabout. Yeah, it gets confusing having to do 2 in 1, but that is the way it goes sometime. Okay, let's get ready to rumble ourselves then here for the Moto3 Grand Prix of Aragon. Green lights at the back. It is all eyes to said lights. Moto3's 8th round of the World Championship is under starters' orders. And pull the throttle back as we go racing. It's a slow start for the front row, and out goes Luca Laneda down second position. Into the lead goes Jose Antonio Rueda. Into the first corner we come. Envio Carpe battling with Maximo Quiles. Quiles just holding off as they come through. It's a good start so far from everybody as they head downhill towards turn number 2. Quiles on the inside already of Luca Laneda and takes second position. Rueda trying to come back in on the inside line as well. Just trying to find the right position to do so. It's a careful start, but it is a good start from everybody, and that's what we needed to see here as the action continues. Up we go. Lap 1 of 17. Rueda leads. Quiles, Lunetta, Carpe, Munoz, Almanza, Piqueras, Forasato inside the top 8 at the moment as they head downhill for the first time. And Stefano Neppa, it's something's happened to Neppa. I'm looking further back to see if he's dropped it. I can't see anything there. Stefano Neppa dropping a couple of places, and the 32 and the 82 have crashed. So that's why Stefano Neppa and Vicente Perez have crashed. I wonder if Perez was going to do his long lap penalty and he's just taken it off the circuit. So a few little errors to come through. Neppa is well now under pressure. They haven't, and Perez has rejoined the race. They haven't stopped the race just yet, so that's a good sign. Almanza gets through on Caro though for 5th position on the inside. Rueda leads, but now Quiles under pressure from Lanetta at the exit of turn number 13, and down the back straight we go. This is going to be the huge slipstream effect that you're going to be waiting to see. Is anybody going to try and just close up on the inside line and sneak away through on the inside? They're still looking for it. So only 25 have taken the start of this race, not the 26 that we were told as they come into the turn 4. Yeah, by the way, we've changed the Moto3 and Moto2 timers. You can now see the sector times during the race as well, so hope you all enjoy that little fact as well throughout the Moto3 and Moto2 races. Over we go once again then. Rueda leads, but Quiles looking to the inside line, down towards the first corner. Coming around the outside is David Almanza. Little twitch from Munoz there, who's running in 4th position. Well, a smooth start and hopefully a clean start. Yeah, just checking that's all good there. There's Stefano Neppa. He's now rejoined the race. So Neppa back in. Lap 2 of 17 then. Munoz up 5 places from where he started. Long lap penalty for Perez, who knows? Yeah, it means we know what happened there. Yeah, so Perez has tried to go for the long lap penalty and he's taken down Stefano Neppa. Not really the best situation to handle and not really the best thing to happen, but we know that is a problem that persists. Neppa's come into the pit lane, so he is officially out of this race then. That's sad. There's penalty. There's the confirmation of the penalty for Perez flashing up on the official messaging system up here inside the commentary box, and yep, there we go. Unfortunately, we now see said information. Let's take a listen to the replay.
It's going to be the Perez-Neppa incident. So
at some point, might see it come through. No, it's not happening.
No, not this time, but yeah, they've been involved in a collision, it would seem, although Perez should be able to complete his long lap penalty, so it won't count at the next race.
Almanza's up to 3rd now, got past David Munoz. This trio are the ones who have had the pace all weekend as Neppa brings it back. Just at the top of your picture, just have a look. Oh, it's Perez on the inside. He loses it, in fact.
Yeah.
He wasn't even going
trying
for
to make the
lap.
overtake on the direction change, and Perez crashed of his own accord, and that wiped Stefano Neppa on his outside. Yeah, unfortunately for Stefano, no fault of his. It will be reviewed after the race.
And that's another penalty for Perez, yeah.
Notepad and pen out and get both riders' feedback and then make a decision.
First lap in the tight corkscrew on the inside curve. One of those, isn't it? Yeah. We'll see what they say after the race. So it's Rueda, Quiles, Almanza, Munoz. The gap's starting to stretch just in front of Carpe. A lot of fighting going on around the race because Almanza's just keeping a block on Munoz behind. Of this front group, Quiles and Almanza and Munoz have gone with the medium tyre. Is there going to be a drop for Rueda, or is Rueda able to manage it to the line?
It looks, as you mentioned, the front four just getting a little bit of daylight. I think Carpe's got the speed to bring Piqueras back across, but Ralston doing well here in these early laps. Lunetta, I'm surprised to see Luca Lunetta drop a little bit. He's got a soft tyre on. Perhaps he's thinking distance here, just manage it in these early laps. He's soft front and rear. There was
Cormac Buchanan, went a little bit deep into the entry, but brought it back round for the exit from the corkscrew. He's in front of Guido Pini, who is another one actually who had the pace at the start of the weekend, but then had a huge off himself. And I think a little bit second-hand as we go through this race.
Yeah, I think there's a few riders that will be feeling a little battered or bruised following the crashes throughout the weekend. Definitely Guido Pini, one of those. We've not quite seen him back on that form again following the crash, so perhaps feeling a little second-hand.
You really have to sacrifice your entry, don't you, into that little bus stop, the right-left. Oh, Marcos Uriarte, your man, back down into the pits, and it looks like a problem for him.
Yeah. Not sure what's gone on there.
Are you and Joan Mir, are you both been breaking mirrors together? Is that what you've been doing?
I do believe. Certainly not having too many fortunes in our Moto3 team so far this year.
So out of the final couple of corners up the right, a great last corner, isn't it? All the lines converging. We saw that in the rookies earlier, that there are gains to be had if you can just nail it right. Quiles slots in behind Rueda on this occasion. Fastest rider on track is Luca Lunetta in 8th place.
57.1's a fast lap time. Obviously having to work to get back across a little bit here on the back wheel of Ralston, and Lunetta's, he's thinking about the cut back up the inside.
There were 3 abreast in there.
Yeah, not an easy one to pull off there, but Luca's impressed me so much, and there is the top of the seat.
Of course it is. The David Munoz, this is, I mean, they should probably get him a little signal on the back of his bike, the amount he's tapping the back of his seat, Munoz. I'm sure that will be definitely heeded by David Almanza, no doubt about it.
Munoz had a quiet weekend by his standards, 3rd row of the grid, good speed, but not been in any tussles, not being caught cruising or doing anything untoward.
Apart from the flying through the air with the corkscrew.
From his big crash.
Completely self-inflicted. There's Ralston ahead of Piqueras. Excellent this from the Aussie, isn't it? It's so good to see, and he's attacking.
Wow.
On
Nicely
Carpe.
done on Carpe down the hill at turn 12, and he doesn't run wide.
Just keeps it
Ralston's,
going. Yeah,
I
nice.
think quietly been going about his business the last few rounds, returning from injury. Oh, Carpe's looking at a move here on the switchback. No, not this time.
Yeah, it's one of those, if you do make that move, you are then a sitting duck, aren't you, down the straight?
Yeah, honestly, I thought Carpe would be able to pull the lead group back, and I think Jacobs just decided that perhaps he's the one to drag this group across, although the slipstream effect here, the guys have to go through. It will be Piqueras and Carpe both. Lunetta thinking about it, he's through on Piqueras.
Yeah, Piqueras and Kelso back in this group just haven't looked on it this weekend, have they?
No, not by their standards. Even Kelso of late, he's been really consistent, and you don't expect him to have an off weekend at all, but he's not quite been there as he sets the fastest lap of the race.
Obviously. Just to prove us wrong. Cheers, Joel. Thought we were friends. Hey, it's good to see the consistency there, but it hasn't looked as easy this weekend as it has at others for Kelso. They'd sit, of course, Piqueras and Kelso 2nd and 3rd in the championship as Carpe comes back at Ralston up the hill. Lunetta thought about coming through, decides against it. Wise choice, Luca.
Yeah, but on the Kelso scenario, he had 4 front rows on the bounce, and you think, yeah, he's got the 1 lap time attack pace, but it's not been there this weekend, qualifying back on the 3rd row of the grid. He's working here. Him and Lunetta hopefully can get through here. Carpe's back at the front of this group, but they're just watching this lead 4, and I do think it is beginning to bunch up on this lap, so some good work in the first sector from Carpe there.
There were personal best laps on that last lap from Rueda out front, Quiles and Munoz, so just bear that in mind, that Rueda is steadily upping the wick. They have absolutely shattered the existing lap record. Kelso's 57.0 is nearly 9/10 quicker than the record that was standing from 2022 from Dennis on Tube.
Wow.
But of course, we didn't race him in 23, and last year the conditions were not ideal.
Yeah, the asphalt,
particularly in the morning,
was quite slick here last year, and dirty, and the tyres were dropping off a lot. So yeah, it's pretty much a new benchmark for this surface, but impressive nonetheless 57-0.
How do you foresee this then with the Pirelli situation, bearing in mind that Rueda's on the softer option and 3 riders behind him on the medium? How do you foresee it happening? I'm going to put you on the spot with still a long, long way to go in this race.
Honestly, I think both tyres will go the distance and there'll be both options on the podium. It's one of those where I think a lot of the riders are worried because of the scenario here last year where they did fall off a cliff and had a lot of tear, a lot of banding, but that was more down to the surface. The track condition is better this year. I think the stronger one will be the SC2 at the end, which is Quiles. But yeah, you think Rueda's got a way of managing his tyre. It's the 3-second drop that Scott said about that does concern me if it happens again today.
But then he is so smooth, isn't he, Jose Antonio Rueda? And how many times have we said about Pirelli that often the softer tyre is the option and does go the distance?
Yeah, the SC1 wins more races than the SC2 when you look at the stats over a season. It is a good tyre on most racetracks, and yeah, if you've got your setup right and you ride it correctly, as Rueda can do, he's so smooth, like you mentioned, and I think it makes the SC1 a viable option for him to win with today.
With Carpe in the front of that chase pack, they haven't made inroads, but now Luca Lunetta has hit the front of it, so he's up into 5th, and it looks like that gap is closing, bringing along Carpe and Kelso and Piqueras into the mix.
I've got to say, I like what I've seen from Lunetta. He's just gone about his business, figured things out, and he's ultra aggressive in the race. Obviously got tangled up in the round 1 antics with Munoz, but since then he's stealthily been improving every weekend. It looks really strong on the motorcycle now.
It's a strong race. It's a really strong race at the moment.
Breaks there, but that just suggests to me that Rueda's looking for the roll through the corners. He's not forcing things, just smooth as silk.
If you've got the luxury of riding your own lines, even though you know there are potential attacks coming when you've got Quiles, Munoz and David Almanza directly behind you, but you can even gap them off the turn there. Normally when you're doing that, your bike's on the move or squirming a little bit, asking a bit much from the tyres. Look at the slipstream effect here for Quiles. Is he going to go through? No. He could have done. I think he could have made that happen, although Jose Antonio is... Oh, look at this from Almanza. That's a nice shot in the middle of the final turn 16 and 17.
What a fantastic shot it is. 4 different lines, all working.
Rulstone down 3 places.
Almanza, the best one. Will Munoz, though, have the drive? Yeah.
Oh, Rulstone's into the pit lane. Now, Rulstone's into the pits. I wonder, that's a big problem, so he's out of the race.
And Munoz does go through on the inside.
Almanza and off goes the side. Yeah, Maximo Quiles getting forced out wide. So did David Almanza. Quiles keeps second. Almanza drops down at several places. The race now getting, well, I want to say entertaining, but it's getting dangerous almost. As look, now you can see Kelso's dropped back, and there is Jacob Rulstone pulling into the pit lane for the Red Bull KTM Tech 3 team. He doesn't know what's happened either. They just lost drive. Let's have a look. This is the move down to turn 1. So, oh, hang on a minute. Rulstone had a problem beforehand, so he's had to go the entire lap. Oh, and he can't believe that it's gone, and he also was right up there. Apparently he's rejoined the race. I wonder if it was something like a chain slip, something like that, just was loose. According to our monitors, he's rejoined the race. You can see yourself, it says on the monitor. Lap 7 of 17, 11 laps to go then here in Aragon. Rulstone leads. This now is where the race starts just to get that a little bit more tense, a little bit more worrisome about what we could see coming. Moto 2 up next. That's going to be a split commentary again between myself and TNT. I won't be able to call the end because I'll be on the start of the British Touring Car Championships. Opening race of the day from Thruxton. So it's going to be a mix of the two as Stefan Epper gets out of the way from the leading front here. So much more with Rulstone, Quiles, Munoz, Lunetta, and oh, Quiles looking to the inside line. Munoz just a little bit too wide, but Ruda went too deep into that last corner. He just let the front end of the bike dip away from him and he got caught out. But everyone right behind is in that train, so they're just dragging him along down towards turn 1. Quiles makes the middle of the inside. Munoz still there as well. 4 into 1, now 3. And it's going to be Munoz who takes second position away. And now Quiles gets forced out back. Up to second goes Luca Lunetta. Munoz down to 3rd place now on that little change around on the previous lap. So yeah, 1:57.2. So Lunetta was 3/10 faster than Rueda, and he's going for it. And I thought he was looking for a move on the inside line. He backs out of it. This is going to be a race of 2 halves, I think.
on up the inside of Rueda, but I think he's going to move to the head of the pack here. He just looks like he's in a hurry to get there, the young Italian.
Again, has got the softer tyre, like Rueda, and maybe he feels, well, there's much more of this tyre. Maybe Rueda is riding sensibly. Let's see how it pans out. It's a good little battle we've got going on. We're at the almost at the halfway stage of this race. We're on lap 8 of 17. Still 9.5 to go.
Just looking at Scott Ogden, he's at the head of the next chase pack. Close, he's only 2.7 down on the leader, but I don't know, they need some infight in this group.
Queen's in shape!
Here it's coming, and this is where he had to take evasive action there, didn't he? Because Munoz was just not going to give up the spot to Quiles, and I think that was Quiles saying, look, I'm just all I want to be is behind Rueda.
Yeah, it was lucky there. He done well to avoid any contact as he immediately fights back on Joel.
Joel Kelso relegated a spot, but that will cost them all the way down the straight here. Kelso and Piqueras, as we said, just at the back of the group and not quite able to battle. So Rueda leads now from Munoz in second place. Lunetta third, Almanza back into fourth. Quiles will have to bring them back. Kelso and Piqueras back to the group again.
Wow, it's getting fun.
8 down, 9 to go. Still Rueda, as he has from pole position, led all the way. Has anyone headed him at any point?
No, not as yet. I think he's led pretty much the entirety here. I keep thinking someone's going to have a go, and they're allowing Jose Antonio to just dictate the pace at the front.
Side by side with him on the outside. That was never going to work, was it? He loves riding right on someone's rear wheel, doesn't he, David Munoz?
Yeah, he's happy there, and obviously in Moto3. I think he's
going to drive through.
Yeah, he's going to go for it.
Drive towards turn 7.
Not this time. I thought he was setting up the move there, the way he's moved his body and his bike to get the cut back.
Rueda over the curb. Out of 7 into 8. It's all dropping down so steeply here. Keeps going, keeps dropping, keeps going even further through. Then into turn 10, it's the track still dropping away from you. And this is where you can eat up your tyre. Through 11, a little kink there.
We're actually chatting this morning.
To be had. It punches up once more. But there you could see it, couldn't you? The others close in on Rueda, but he's carrying the corner speed.
Yeah, just rolls through the apex, nice and comfortable. Yeah, it is. It's a nicely controlled race to this point. No one really wants to interrupt him. I thought Munoz might on this lap, and may well do so. But look at how good Rueda is off the.
Rueda's got this.
The most important corner on the racetrack when you punch off onto the long straight out of turn 15.
Carpe, Kelso and Piqueras again just don't look quite to have it, do they? Furusato's come back to them, he's at the front, and Quiles is eating up the ground. It'd be interesting to see Quiles' lap time here.
Yeah, this is going to be joined by Yamanaka on this lap, has got across really well. He's pretty much onto the back of his teammate. You mentioned Piqueras not quite having it this weekend, but Yamanaka's coming across, and Scott Ogden up to 11th.
Yeah, personal best lap actually from Yamanaka. Quiles was a 57.8, the leaders in the 58s. Bear in mind, we've had a 56 in this race, so the pace has dropped by a second or so.
Yeah, that was quite a steady lap, 58.3 for Rueda. Bear in mind, as you said, he's been done in the low 57, so it's allowed the chase pack, and that has brought Scott up, and he's now just 2.0 off the, so 2 seconds off the leader.
Almanza up past Lunetta and into third place. Up towards turn 7 once more. Lunetta back at Almanza. 2 into 1 do not fit through 7. Lunetta doing the right thing. Here comes Quiles. He's just not going to die wandering, is he? He's just going to go for it when he's got a chance.
He's made a couple of little mistakes, recovered well though. I thought when I see the second one, if he starts pushing a little too hard and running off track, it's going to cost him, but he steadied things on this lap.
But it just says to me that he can run Rueda's pace and just sit there, and he has been. And it's all about a little bit of management. He's 17, Michael. He's in his 4th Grand Prix.
He is a sensation, no doubt. I fully believe he will be a MotoGP World Champion one day. And yeah, he's big for a Moto3 bike. Oh, for Asado, thinking about it there. But
the thing is, Michael, we keep seeing them coming through. We've said it now about riders over the last few years, whether it be Isan Guevara, Pedro Acosta. You know, we've seen them all coming through the system. and he's another cab off the rank, is Quiles.
Yeah, he's ready. He is very ready as a 17-year-old, and the right management, the right people around him with the Marquez boys, the vertical management group.
Imagine having them in your corner.
It's not a bad asset to anyone. And even for training and everything that goes on throughout the winter months, he was well prepped as he turned up for his first ever GP.
And he carried great corner speed there. That'll bring him right back onto this front group now. As David Munoz takes to the inside, looking from the heli. Here comes Luca Lunetta.
Oh, the inside line.
Wow, that's a great move from Lunetta. Does he run wide? He'll still have the inside line here, and he will hang on to second place. Excellent from Lunetta. Again, Rueda just unfettered at the front, isn't he? No one bothering him, just going about his business.
Yeah, it just shows that he's so consistent. Once again, another 58.3, so that's the pace he's happy with in terms of his tyre at the moment. When you've got 7 laps to go, I think he's just going to keep this rhythm, but there will be attacks, no doubt, for sure. Munoz will put a move up the inside at some point.
And we talked about Piqueras hasn't quite had the pace, but you know what? If Piqueras is there on a last lap, you know, and tyres are starting to look a little bit sketchy, I'm putting Piqueras in the mix.
He's very...
Perez has received a long lap penalty for track limits warnings.
Yeah, interesting to see as the race progresses. He's so good in the battle that you do not rule him out of a podium, even on a tough weekend for him.
Still, Rueda dictating the pace of this race. Still, he's just driving through the corners. His roll speed is brilliant. Again, sacrifices on his entry there into number 12 through 13. And it's the right-left downhill, dropping the track, dropping away from you. It's a horrible corner, isn't it?
Yeah, downhill here is so easy to lose the front. Oh. We've seen him do it a few times already in this race. Doesn't worry about compromising his exit. He's confident that he's going to get up the turn. It does leave Almanza a little bit vulnerable here to an overtake for Asado, who's got the draft, struggling to get through on it though.
Quiles up to 4th again. There's the trio. We're not sure about Piqueras, Carpe and Kelso in this race, but they are still there. They're still within striking distance, and just off the back behind Yamanaka, Scott Ogden has made up ground on this front group. He's only less than a second, 8/10 now behind them. They all start scrapping at the front finally. We had a change in the leader then, and it's
finally on the inside line. 3-1 does go, and it's Luca Lunetta who takes it. David Munoz into second position as well, and round the outside, Wade has been pushed down into 3rd position. Well, finally the race has come alive on lap 12 of 17. It's taken a while with 6 to go, but this is what Moto3 is all about. The short, sharp overtakes that give us the big punch to wake us up on a Sunday morning. Well, Wade's nearly hit the back of Munoz, and that's allowed Almanza through. Almanza through on the inside line. Just little mistakes can cost big errors here. Well, so far so good as this race will continue. 60 as you can see on the timing monitor. Look at Wade now, losing so many places. Down into 6th, is up the inside. Cheeky from Quiles and cheekier from Franasato. So, Wade has gone from 1st to 6th in the space of 9 corners. Yep, that tracks, doesn't it? With how crazy the Moto3 tyres have been recently over the past couple of years. Lunetta, Munoz, Almanza, Quiles, Franasato, Rueda, Piqueras, Carpe, Yamanaka, Kelso. That's your top 10. Ogden's just hovering down 11th position at the moment. Almanza still trying to have a look on the inside line and look at Lunetta. Oops, and up the inside, Quiles makes the move on Munoz. Slips through on the inside quite nicely, to be fair. Over the line we come. Look at the speed that Quiles has got. He's going to go to the inside line of his teammate, down in towards turn 16, 17. He's going to take 2nd position. Nearly forces out Munoz, who's getting caught in the wake as well. And Munoz just having to take an exit. He'll get the speed back up. No one touching the line, but look at the speed. We are 5, 6 wide across the start line. It's towards turn number 1. That's more like it. Under braking, who's got the lead alone? It's Maximilian Quiles who leads on course for his first win in Moto3 in just his first few races. This boy is special. He has got a lot of talent. Never, ever, ever underestimate him. Quiles. Now, Almanza to the inside line, trying to take the lead as Quiles goes wide. Almanza leads, Munoz 2nd. Quiles down to 3rd. Still a few errors. Trying to find its way through. That's what we like to see. Just keep it calm. Fingers crossed it's not going to be too bad.
He's going to try and pull away. He had such good pace. We thought he was in line for challenging for pole. Then he had a crash, unfortunately. Started on the third row of the grid in 7th. But David Almanza, who really has been overshadowed a little bit by Fernandez so far in his Leopard time, has... Oh, look who's coming to the fore. Number 36, Angel Piqueras, is up now, past Carpe and in behind Rueda.
And these lap times got quite slow. I know they were all battling and scrapping in the last lap, but it was high 59s, mid 59s. So, yeah, we talked about the tyre drop. It is happening.
Yeah, it is. What was it? Scott Ogden said to us on the grid. In fact, Cormac Buchanan just got past Scott Ogden and up to 11th. 3 seconds difference. We've had a 56 in this race, and now they're all in the 59s. Rueda did a 2 minutes on that last lap. 2-minute lap. So he's just, hopefully, for Rueda's sake, saved some tyre. We will see very soon indeed. As it stands, though, it's Almanza on the medium tyre, from Quiles on the medium tyre, Munoz on the medium tyre. Are your 1, 2 and 3 across the line? Quiles being told on his dashboard, you've got David Munoz behind. I don't know if I want to know that.
It is one of those with David Munoz. You know he's going to attack. It's better probably to know you can be a little bit more defensive.
Pace increased again since Almanza's hit the front. Into the 58s, 158.8 from Almanza. Quiles behind him. Here comes Furasato.
Yeah.
Just trying to squeeze through on Rueda, and he manages it. Piqueras now riding around the outside, but Carpe's on his inside too. Piqueras leaves himself exposed there, but look at him lean on.
Wow.
Look at how Piqueras just leant over the top of Carpe.
Yeah, so confident in the battle. Angel Piqueras, aggressive when he needs to be. And yeah, just closed the door but left enough room that there was no contact.
That's on the red 36 there with the solo on the side of it. Angel Piqueras second in the championship. It's the Leopard, number 22 of David Almanza, who leads from the Aspar 28 with the pink. Max Quiles, 17 years of age, looking for his first Grand Prix victory. Will be first Grand Prix victory for Almanza.
Look at him! Look at Quiles on the inside, leads!
First Grand Prix victory for Lunetta. All these 4 out the front, looking to break their GP winning duck.
Another tap of the seat there for David Munoz to Luca Lunetta. It's not going to happen. It will not happen in these last 3 1/4 laps.
There Quiles showed that he can ride differently through that sector. You know, he's been dive bombing, hasn't he, through turn 15. On this occasion,
well, it's fairly simple, to be fair. The only 3 winners, Piqueras, Foggia and Rueda. So everybody is looking for their first win here.
On this planet, he just looks so comfortable at the head of a Moto3 Grand Prix race already.
Lunetta with the tighter line on entry into turn 16. Through 17, up and over the rise. It's Max Quiles who leads them across, and again will dive for the inside. They're all going to hug that line. It's not the longest of runs down towards turn 1, but Quiles has it, and here comes Lunetta on the inside of Almanza. Does he make the corner? He does, and then Almanza, as he tried to pick up the throttle, little twitch, but gets back in third. But
great, that's track limits warning.
He's going to get through on him.
Yeah, the little move from Almanza is his tyre beginning to cry enough, although the pace was quite good again back in the 58s last time around.
Credit to Cormac Buchanan, you know. He's on the back of this group, having got through on Ogden. He's starting to come to the fore, is the Kiwi, so he's now in the back of this group of 11 at the front of this Grand Prix. Ooh, a track limits warning for Max Quiles.
That will make him think of it. Comes up on his dash now, so over the last couple of laps there are a few parts here that aren't red paint, and he does like to use a lot of track here at Aragon.
Furasato thought about it, down into the corkscrew on Rueda. 5th and 6th they sit. But Quiles it is who leads them. Now, what line does he take through here? Max Quiles has been, on occasion, jumping over the edge of the curb, but no, he's going on the high line. As they ride through 11 towards turn 12. Is Rueda able to make any moves yet? Not quite. Looks like he has his bike set up slightly differently to get the roll. Does that make him a bit more vulnerable in the attacks?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think he usually is quite good on the braking zones, but I think this weekend he's been more happy when he's riding by himself, as we've seen in qualifying, and in these early laps he'd like to lead from the front. But I think he still will be able to fight over these last 2 laps.
barnstorming start to our racing day here in Moto3. Max Quiles from David Munoz, from Luca Lunetta and David Almanzi, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Jose Antonio Rueda, who led the first 2/3 of this race before Munoz and Lunetta came past him up at turn 1. This is going to be another, it's going to be the place, I think, where you get through. We saw actually earlier on today, riders not wanting to lead in the rookies. And they're all just trying to get in behind Quiles, and again, as they do battle behind, Lunetta now is going to have Almanza ride around him. He's gone from 2nd to 4th. Munoz is going to try and turn underneath Quiles at 3, not this time.
He thought about it, he's got a great run through turn 2. As you mentioned, Linktree ran so close to Lunetta, back on Almanza up the hill.
And Almanza back at him. This is brilliant stuff. They're knocking lumps out of each other here. Almanza and Lunetta changed positions 2 or 3 times in the space of a couple of corners.
Almanza
tapping the back of your seat. It's not going to work, mate, because here comes Lunetta again.
It was a wasted hand gesture there.
For Rosato's under pressure now from Carpe on his inside.
This is
still
amazing.
Rueda sits in 5th. Still Quiles leads them with a lap and a half remaining.
This is unbelievable stuff. We literally have the entire, I think, top 15 inside this battle. It is absolutely insane. Rosato been forced out wide. He drops back down to 11th position out there as well. Quiles leading the way with Munoz in 2nd position by 73 thousandths of a second only, because Munoz going to go for a move around the outside. He's going to switch back on the inside line very late into the braking zone. No, Quiles leads, Munoz 2nd, Lunetta 3rd. Remember what I said earlier on, the only one in this leading fight, Keras, Rueda and Foggia, they're the only riders who've ever won a Moto3 race. Everybody is going for their first, which means everybody is doing a maximum attack right now. Rueda, though, started to make his way back through and almost hits the side of Almanza, coming down into turn 14. Bound stretch we come. It will be one more lap to go here of the Moto3. Amazing Aragon Grand Prix. Munoz coming on the inside line, gets ahead of Maximo Quiles. Almanza coming in there as well. Lunetta dropped back into 4th position. Over the line we go. One more lap remaining of the Moto3 Aragon Grand Prix. Little bit of slipstreaming down towards turn 1. Quiles thinking about a move and has taken the lead away from Munoz. Off the track goes Rueda. He loses several positions as well. I think he's dropped way behind Piqueras. Yeah, Rueda down to 9th. Just a little off-track excursion at turn 1. Kelso also got run wide. Up the inside, taking 3rd place, goes Luca Lunetta. Almanza dropping behind. I think Caros. Yeah, look at Alvaro Carpe up into 4th place. Munoz still trying to get the lead away at the inside line. Super tight as they come down in towards the braking zone for the corkscrew section. Nothing for Munoz. He hasn't got the launch on the inside line. In fact, a little bit wide for Munoz. That's going to upset him down through the backstretch towards the castle wall section. A little bit of a change in position as well for Rosato 11th, Ogden still 12th. Who are we going to have then as a first-time winner? Surely it's not going to be the man who's in his 4th ever race of Maximo Quiles. Oh, here goes back on the inside. Wade is starting to make moves up the order as well. Just getting ahead of Kelso. I don't believe it. I think we're gonna, Quiles track limits. He's got a warning, but has he hit the last corner? That could be quite detrimental. Surely we're not about to see Quiles win. The 19-year-old, sorry, the 17-year-old, just his 3rd ever start. Oh, it's getting rather close, isn't it? It's into the last corner. Munoz's going to go for a lunge on the inside line. Quiles is going to go wide. Munoz is making it stick. They're side by side. Munoz is going to win the race. He's waited so long. It's the man who's waited longer than the 17-year-old going to win. It's side by side of the line. And finally it's done. David Munoz wins in Moto3. It has been coming for so long. And finally he does it by 0.050 at the line. 50 thousandths of a second to Maximo Quiles, who's in just his 4th Moto3 start. And now the tears can start on his home event. David Munoz finally is a Grand Prix winner. He's deserved it for so long. And that is a good news story. A fantastic move at the last corner. Quaylas defended the inside line, what he thought was to its limits. He left just the slightest of doors open. Munoz went through and took the lead of the line. No matter what the slipstream, 50 thousandths of a second was the difference. Now that is what I call a finish to a MotoGP race. That was amazing. 50 thousandths of a second. The top 8 separated by 0.8 of a second. That is typical Moto3. What a fantastic event. It's David Munoz, Maximo Quaylas, Alvaro Carpe, David Almanza, the top 4, then Luca Lunetta 5th, Angel Piqueras in 6th, Joel Kelso 7th, Jose Antonio Ueda finishing in 8th place as well, 9th for Rusi Yamanaka, 10th for Cormac Boroman, 11th for Tayo Furusato, Scott Ogden is 12th, Valentin Peroni in 13th, 14th on the line goes to Rishi Moodley, 15th for Dennis Foggia in the last points-paying position. Noah Deltwell 16th, Nicola Caro 17th, Riccardo Rossi in 18th, Guido Pini 19th, Takahon Borassi 20th, Eddie O'Shea 21st, Vicente Perez 22nd, Marcos Yota in 23rd, Stefano Nepa 24th, Jacob Woolstone in 25th position as the last racer in this field. That is insane at the line. Almanza and Lunetta as well. Moved up the order at the last line. Carpe taking 3rd on that last lap. That was absolutely fantastic. I agree with what Sean's saying. Moto3 never, ever, ever disappoints. Moto2 will be coming up as well. We will be staying for the podium ceremony and hoping that we can get everything sorted in time. We do have to hand over eventually to British Touring Cars at Thruxton. But I do want to make sure that everything is confirmed before we go off air for that, because I'm being told we don't have enough time for the podium because we've got to hand over for the touring cars to make sure everything's set up for Moto2. It's a busy day as I'm one-man banding with the broadcasts. Just a reminder, coming up on JB Motorsports 2, we have the Moto2 race, plus then the Freca second race as well from Zandvoort, Omi and Wes on the commentary team for that one. Tomorrow here on JB Motorsports 2, we have the Aragon test. So all of the action, you can join us for that as well from 9 till 5. Well, what a bizarre weekend we've had here. I still can't believe it quite myself. It is never stopping to be different. Let's head back down to TNT Sports and all the action and join Gavin Emmett for the information.
Welcome back to Aragon, where we've had a belter of a race to start our day. Not for this man, unfortunately, Jose Antonio Rueda. Only managed 8th across the line. He led for the first 2/3 of it. But, Michael, we've just seen some shots, haven't we, where he was just sliding into turn 1. His tyre had clearly gone.
Yeah, he lost it on entry into turn 1 in the final lap, and obviously you lose the grip going in, you can't stop it. He just took himself a little bit out of contention there at the end, which is a shame, but a quality race for him nonetheless.
David Munoz celebrates. He was on the harder option tyre, as was Quiles on that podium alongside him. He just worked it out, didn't it? He just sat in second place, sat there waiting. Family down, his mum down there celebrating. Hector Falbo, who looks after him. Great days, great times, aren't they? A rider, take a look at the tears for mum. That's brilliant.
They've been through it, obviously, so close to victory on occasion. And you mentioned the criticism, which he has been, obviously, it's been directed his way. Some of the mistakes he's made, some of the decisions that have caused incidents on track, but that was the best I've seen him ride in terms of cleanness, fair, and at the end he was thinking.
And he wanted to be in second, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's what he just, I'll be there second. And how many times have we said that here in Aragon? The straight is so long and downhill, slipstream becomes all important. Hey, This kid's ridden well, hasn't he? Dropped back to 8th at one point and had to fight his way back through, was leading. Wasn't to be today. His day will come, I think.
Yeah, runner-up again, 2 in a row where he's been second. Oh, so close to the victory, but no, it won't take long. Give him another crack in 2 weeks' time at Mugello. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there and in contention. He's so impressive as a rookie. 17 years old, and he rides in a classy manner, aggressive and yeah, in control. He's definitely the best answer that the Aspark team could have had to David Alonso.
He's following, slotting into his boots perfectly. Alvaro Carpe back on the podium for the first time since the opening round, and it didn't look like that was going to happen at one point today, did it?
No, he was struggling, languished a little bit. He was the best of the soft tyre riders, so he did keep his tyre under him a little better than the rest and had something to fight with.
There's Marc Marquez down to celebrate. Nico Tirol alongside, but celebrating with Max Quiles. Yeah, they work, basically they have the same management team with the Marquez brothers around. Yeah, there's Peter Ertl down, happy face on the German. Good to see. Yamanaka did well.
Yep. Kept coming forward, ended up 9th inside the top 10, 1.1 down on the victory, so he can be happy with his efforts because he had to dig deep to get across to be in contention with the lead group.
A reminder, we've got Moto3 coming up very soon indeed. In the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be on the grid there, ready to go in the Moto2 class. And the signs are that could be equally as good as that Moto3 race.
Yeah, it looks like Moto2 could be the best of the day with obviously the intact GP rider Manu Gonzalez languishing down the field after a crash in qualifying.
I think we're going to finally be able to get Alvaro Carpe over to speak to Jack Appleyard, who's going to be down there waiting. What a proud moment for Munoz. As we say, that's when we were down there before, saw those Andalusian fans with the dynamite for David. Yeah, Dynamite David's about right for him, isn't it? Let's hear from Alvaro Carpe, what he's got to say after 3rd place.
Alvaro, what a weekend you've had on home soil here in Aragon. 18th birthday early in the week, and now onto the podium. Does it get any better than that?
I think no, because this podium is very important for me. We were working too much during all the season, improving in all the setting, all the bike, all the team, with my crew chief, with my team. We are improving too much. I think this is like the gift for all the work. Also was my birthday Thursday. It's a special weekend for me because here in Spain also podium and in the World Championship is very special for me. I'm very happy because the race was very difficult to manage the tires. Also the group was bigger than I thought. But yeah, we managed very good. We saved the tires until the 3 last laps, and then I started to overtake the riders. Yeah, I'm very happy. I want to thank all my team. Incredible job they have. All my family, all my friends, and the people who support me.
Brilliant ride, well done.
Thank you. Vamos!
Happy birthday weekend for Alvaro Carpe. Should have aimed for more, but to get back to the podium after not being on it since the 1st round, steps in the right direction. So much Spanish talent on the podium, so much Spanish talent in that field. Imagine Almanza was 4th, Piqueras 6th, Rueda 8th. Incredible. Here is the youngest of all of them, Max Quiles. Back-to-back podiums for him.
Max, what a rookie year you're enjoying. I'm sure that victory is going to come soon. So close today. What are the emotions like after that?
Yeah, I'm a bit angry, but yeah, great race. It was a really difficult race. I haven't got too much experience with this tire, and here in Aragon it breaks a lot, so it was difficult. But yeah, I tried to be all the time there. And yeah, the last 2 laps, I saw that Munoz is really good fighter. So I said I didn't know what to do. I was thinking I'm gonna let him pass and then in the last corner try it. But I said I'm not going to do all this stuff. Maybe I make a mistake. So I said, okay, now I will do as fast as I can the last corner. I went a bit wide. He got me the slipstream and he overtake me. And then I said maybe now I can overtake him on the back straight, but on the last straight. But it wasn't possible. But it's great to do a second podium in a row, and we will try it in Mugello.
Great ride, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, he'll be there in Mugello. He'll be in the mix, no doubt about it. Oh, that was a collision earlier on with the rear of David Muñoz's bike that sent him off the track. Let's not forget he had track limits penalty hanging over his head. This was the contact. How did he get that one done?
Well, he did a few bumps throughout the race, a few close scrapes.
I think he's going to happen throughout his career. He's that kind of rider, isn't he? He's a bit like Marc Marquez in that he's just going to sees a gap, he'll go for it.
Yeah, certainly he's already in his junior GP and Red Bull Rookie's career made a few enemies because of those moves. But yeah, you got to say he's ruthless when it comes to he's only out for victory.
But it's in a different manner to how this man normally rides. Today, though, you have to give full credit. David Muñoz is a Grand Prix winner finally.
Final corner as well. You are a Grand Prix winner for the first time, and to do it in Spain, just how good does that feel?
Yeah, today is a very good day for we. I am very happy for this victory because I need this position for keep on the season, focus on me. And well, I try in the last lap overtake to Quiles. I try in the last lap before. And in the last lap, one opportunity for the victory, and I passed very close, but I win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, what an opener. That was a tangy start to the day of racing, wasn't it? Brilliant racecraft from David Muñoz there.
Hard to recognise him. I mean, it was that good. It was calm. It was calculated. The whole race was calm and calculated. And we've not seen that from him before. You never think of calm and being calculated, do you, from David?
And it was anything but to watch it. It was such a spectacle, wasn't it, with the amount of changes of leader. And he knew what he was doing, though, and we saw it, as he was mentioning there, on the penultimate lap. It looked like there was a rehearsal.
Oh, it was so good to see. He set it up on the penultimate lap, and he had a good look. Like I said, this is the penultimate lap, this is the end of the straight. And he was working out how deep he could brake, and he does the move there. But then he's already thinking, do you know what? I don't want to lead this last lap. So he controlled it, and he allowed Quiles to get back past him. And then there are opportunities during the last lap that he could have gone back in front, but he didn't want to. He knew he wanted to go down that back straight in second place. So it was so calm, so patient. Like I said, there were that many opportunities for him to make the move earlier in the lap, and he didn't. Even through there, he went even wider to get a better run down here, to get the perfect track position. Quiles did everything right. He's leading, he's weaving around, not too much. It was like, let's say, just the right amount. And then we get to the braking zone. I thought Muñoz might go earlier, he didn't. At that point, he knew straight away. He saw Quiles had that slight bubble. He's gone wide. There was room. It was clean. It was precise. It was perfect. What a win. So pleased with him. You think about him in his journey in Grand Prix racing. He arrived here with a really bad reputation. His first year, it was actually not nice to watch. He was so aggressive, he got penalties. Let's not forget, in his first ever Grand Prix 3 years ago, he was on the podium. So he's had the talent, but mistake after mistake after mistake. Last year he calmed down a bit, but weren't quite as fast. And then he started this year. First race, penalty, riding through someone.
Do you think this is the shape now of things to come for Muñoz? Do you think he's been able to dial it back and find exactly where he is?
It's what he needed. He kept saying he joined the Dynavolt team. He's got Peter Ertl, super experienced German. He runs the team, that side of the garage. Calm him down, and he's been able to calm him down and get him to use his brain, and we know the talent. The talent's never been in question. So, yeah. So pleased, I'm really pleased. It finally, Muñoz arrived.
Yes, it's a major victory for Muñoz, but let's not forget about Max Quiles. It's his 4th race. He's had 2 second places at a pole position, and he's disappointed Gav.
I mean, he's going places as well, isn't he? We've got an all-teenage Spanish podium right in front of us here. Well, not with Peter Ertl on the side, should I say. definitely not a teenager. It's Peter, but he is a campaigner with a brilliant team, and they're having success now, not just in Moto2, but in Moto3 as well, and great to see. 18 years old, Alvaro Carpe celebrates that. Another Mercian, by the way, I'll point out, Carpe. He celebrates his return to the podium here today. Sits fourth in the championship, just a point behind John Calzo. Piquera still second, Rueda still out front. The mayor of Alcañiz, the local town here, is going to hand over the trophy. Back-to-back second places for a kid who's going places. Maximo Quiles celebrates with another trophy. 2 out of 4 ain't bad. But in his 58th Grand Prix, 9 podiums previously, but number 10 is a win. Ignacio Berneda, Deputy President of the FIM, hands over the trophy to David Munoz from the Dynavolt Liquid Intact GP team. He has won his first Grand Prix, and he does it at home soil here in Aragon.
A wonderful, absolutely incredible Moto3 race to kick off the day, and you couldn't ask for anything better. It's champagne time! The thing is, Maximo Quiles can't even spray it because he's only 17 years old. An amazing race, an amazing day. We'll be back for Moto2 very shortly.